Well, hello. Today is May 1st. My second installment of Fat Boy's Garden. This is TJ. We're going to give you a walkthrough of my garden. I actually didn't realize I hadn't made a video in a while, but a lot has happened over the last 2 or 3 weeks. I've done quite a bit of work, still got quite a bit more to go. But we're going to start over here with my blueberry plant. This year I decided I'm not going to feed the birds my blueberries. I'm going to eat some of my own blueberries. And we've got several fruit on there now. And I was looking at some YouTube videos and I seen this idea of putting the netting around, but more importantly, using plastic water bottles to lay the netting across and holding it up from hitting the bush. But I've not gotten any, these blueberries. I was looking at some old videos of mine, and I planted these blueberries in 2015, and I've only gotten blueberries from it one time, and that was because I was beating the birds to them, and I've not gotten any. So this year I decided we want our own blueberries. So I've got that netting around there, and hopefully I'll get me some blueberries this year. Over here we've got my first raised bed that I ever did. And this one I think I did around 2014 is when I built this bed. And I've just continually improved it and improved it. One of my major improvements this year is I added in drip irrigation over here. As you know, I've had a lot of issues with watering where I didn't need water and just all kinds of craziness. So I've done a few other improvements up here. And in this bed here, I've got my herbs. I've got regular basil. I've got large leaf basil. I've got rosemary. I believe that is thyme or oregano. I'm not sure which one it is. I had some sage, but it just never took off. A couple different kinds of tomato plants in there. I've got Chef's Choice tomatoes in there. That's I think 4 of them are Chef's Choice. And then these 2 are Carolina Gold. I looked those up online just now, and those are some nice looking tomatoes. They're going to be yellow, which I kind of figured the word California Gold. So we're going to see how this new watering system is going to work out here, because I'm putting the water right where I need it. One of the problems that I've ran into is Home Depot is pretty much getting out of the drip irrigation business, and through many trials and errors, I've found that those watering stakes there work best for me. And I've gone to about 8 different Home Depots, took what they had, and yesterday I hit a gold mine. I was in South Georgia, and I stopped in at a Home Depot just to see if they had any, and sure enough they did. So I don't think I'm going to need any more watering stakes, but because I bought about 25 of them. And that's going to be for any future enhancements that I do if I have to add in some more watering. And I'm looking at expanding my garden again probably next year, so that way I'll have more than enough watering stakes. Over here we've got my peppers. We've got cayenne, long slim peppers. I've got something called a chili pepper, Serrano pepper, and a Caribbean habanero pepper. And I kind of sort of was a little bit leery when I planted these because I didn't think it was hot enough. And looks like I wasn't disappointed, because they're not growing very fast right now, but then again, it's not hot enough. So that's probably why those aren't growing very fast. Over here I've got both red bell peppers, and I've got yellow bell peppers in those buckets, and you can tell which ones I planted first, because look at how tall that one is versus those 4 in the middle. But I didn't think I had enough bell peppers, so I went and bought some more. Over here has been just an absolute mystery. I'm gonna have to go back and look to see what I've done differently. But this whole bed, both of these beds, were planted on March 31st from seedlings. My kale is doing really, really well. My collard greens are doing really well. I haven't harvested them yet, but there's more than enough in there for me to harvest right now. But this is the one that I've never grown mustard greens before. And I grew these mustard greens and I've already harvested some. And look at them. This is about a week ago and they're ready to be harvested again. So I'm going to be harvesting those today. Back here is my beets. And wow, I just noticed, look at there, there's a little beet that's forming down there already. And over there. So that's why I say I really need to go back and look at these videos when I got my dirt ready. I need to see what I did because I'm just tickled pink at the production that I'm getting. Back here is my broccoli, got lots of greenery. No heads forming yet. So I'm still remaining optimistic that we're going to get some heads forming soon. But here's the one that kind of baffles me. The nursery had this labeled as cauliflower. I don't think this is cauliflower. I really do think that this is collard greens, because there's collard greens, there's cauliflower. There's not much difference in those two leaves. And I'm just not really accepting the fact that this is cauliflower. But I don't know, I'm going to treat it like it's collard greens because I'm going to pick these tomorrow. And we're going to have us a mess of collard greens to eat for Sunday dinner, along with some mustard greens to eat for Sunday dinner, and probably even some kale. Back here is the one thing that's just been driving me up the wall. These daggum squirrels. This is cauliflower, and it looks like the squirrels like it as much as I would have liked it, because they are just eating it and eating it and eating it. And everybody I've talked to have said they've never known squirrels to do anything like that. Well, I'm out here in my yard all day, every day, and I'm steadily fighting off squirrels. There's my broccoli. Looks like they did try to eat one broccoli, and I guess they didn't like the taste of that. And they kind of sort of left the broccoli alone, but they keep coming back and munching on the cauliflower. Up here, I planted quite a few seedlings. I don't know if it's gonna come up or not, but that's just an experiment that I'm trying. But I've got some squash in there and some collards. In the back, I've got cucumbers. Over here, I've got some kale and broccoli and okra and zucchini. And I came across a couple of, I was at Home Depot and the bunny truck had just came in. So I bought some celebrity tomatoes and some more jalapeno peppers, and I'll show you why in a moment. But I'm gonna probably get those planted probably tomorrow. And let's go up here on the hill up here, because up here is where I've been putting in so much time. And that's why I haven't done any videos lately. But I have just really put in a lot of work up here. First off, I've added in some more sprinkler heads to put in, because I was sitting there saying I've got 5 plants in there and 4 watering jets. So I added in some more watering things there. Over here, this is all eggplant, 3 different kinds of eggplant. I've got over here, this is Cherokee purple tomatoes over here. And over here we've got Alberta peach. I still haven't found anything on an Alberta peach tomato, so I'm thinking that those may have been mislabeled. And stuck in the middle, I've got a Mountain Spring tomato. And over here is my cucumber bed. I'm thinking I'm gonna probably go and buy some more cucumber seedlings and put in there, because I'm just not real, I'm a little bit concerned that my cucumbers are not taking off like they should. I've got more watering towers put in there, or whatever you call those. I don't know. I added in some more of the sprinkler heads in there, so I can get a little more water in there where I need it at. But I do need to go in there and put in some more cucumber plants, because they're just not doing anything yet. This bed, I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with yet. I'm probably going to put 2 or maybe 3 of those tomato plants in there. And then 1 tomato plant is going to go there. And I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with the 3 remaining tomato plants. Over here we've got okra in this box. And for the first time I'm growing okra from seed outside. Normally I would have started it inside, but I actually started this one outside. And most of the okra, most of the okra germinated, but as you can see, we've had a few visitors, so the squirrels are kind of wreaking havoc up here, and they're just digging everywhere. Either squirrels, I don't think it's going to be the moles this year, because I haven't seen any moles in my backyard this year. Same thing over in this bed over here. They're digging there and digging back there. This is zucchini and squash. And I got a little disappointed back here, because this bed had about 18 collard green plants. And they kept coming back day after day and eating it and eating it and eating it. And looks like I've got 1, 2, 3 plants left out of the original 18 that was in there. And then I planted some okra in there that I had. So I'm a little bit disappointed there that they just kept coming back and eating till they got full, destroying it. Over here is my jalapenos, and this is why I've got to put some more jalapenos in. I had 6, and as you can see, I've got 3 left. But I've got space in there for 8 plants, so the 6 that I got down there are going to go in this bed here tomorrow. But over here is what's tickling me. Those are Wando peas. That is clearly an experiment, because it's way too warm for peas. But they're growing. Now whether or not they're going to continue to grow, I don't know. Over here in the middle, I've got some Kentucky Blue Lake beans. Those have all sprouted and growing nicely. And right there was one, what kind of pea was that? That was a, let's see, those are Blue Lake. Oh, Wando, I'm sorry. Those are the Wando, that's the Kentucky Blue Lake beans there. This was Wando beans. Or maybe I'm still saying, no, those were wax beans. None of them germinated but one. So I went in, I believe it was about 2 days ago, and I planted some more. And now I've added in, like I said, some more watering jets. So I'm gonna have really good irrigation in there now. And I've got it turned where I'm not watering the ground. I'm actually putting the water where I need it at. And that's been something that I've been working on and working on. These boxes are all new. I built these boxes specifically this year. So I've added in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've added in 6 new boxes. And added in the water, added in some more watering lines and everything. So I'm just really happy with the progress I've gotten up here. I still haven't gotten that cleaned up yet. So I still got to come up here and start working on that, but I've been putting all my efforts into getting the watering system right up here. So this is all ready. It's all on a timer and everything, so I don't have to worry about watering this. So that's all done now. I'm completely done up here. The only thing that I got to do now is I got to figure out how to, I looked online and I'm thinking that if I put row covers over some of these beds, that'll hopefully keep the squirrels out or whatever's going in there and digging up my plants. I thought about that. The other thought that I had was I normally use these in the winter time because in my herb bed down on the bottom, I usually have to cage that in to keep the squirrels out in the winter time. So I'm thinking I might have to build some more of these to go around these beds to keep these squirrels out. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I really don't know what I'm going to do yet. But as you can tell how I repurpose those during the springtime, because those are normally down there in that bed down there by the kitchen down there. So we're going to see how it all works out. Here's another experiment that I've got. You see that line of buckets down there? I've got a buddy of mine who built my latest big boy toy. I went and had myself a smoker grill built. Took me about 2 months to build it, and I'll probably show that in a later video because I'm still learning how to use it. I just picked it up yesterday, so I got it all seasoned in. And while I was out there, I got some chicken manure. He raises chickens. He's got about 300 chickens that he raises strictly for the eggs. And he sells his brown eggs at about $2.50 a dozen. Nobody else sells brown eggs that cheap. Everywhere else I've gone and bought brown eggs, they've been $4 a dozen. He can't keep eggs in his cooler. He's got about 300 chickens, so that's a lot of eggs every day. But what I did is, he told me to go out there and scoop up some of the dirt out of his chicken house, because that is good chicken manure mixed in with that dirt. So what I did is, I took these buckets and I doubled them up, well, tripled them up in some cases. And the reason that I did that is because these are buckets that I used to have in my garden. They all got holes in them. And so I tripled it up because it's been raining for the last couple of days. So what I'm doing is I'm letting that rainwater soak through this dirt into the bottom, and I'm using that water to water my garden with. I'm just going to use it for my tomatoes. But this dirt here, I'm going to go ahead and continue to soak it and use that water strictly to water my tomatoes with. And then probably next year, when this chicken manure is completely broken down and composted, then I'm going to use that dirt for my tomatoes. And here's some of the water that I got, because when I first got it, I kind of ran some water through it, and that watering jug there is full. I poured some in those trays there, and that's just strictly for the seedlings that I planted. So I'll be able to, whenever those are drying out, I'll take those and put them in those trays there and let them soak up some good old chicken poop water. Well, this is TJ. Oh, let me just show you my other thing that I got. That same friend of mine gave me a roll of chicken wire. I'm assuming that's probably about 100 feet of chicken wire. That's what I'm going to use to make those cages to go around those plants up there. But normally those the little cages that I have, I usually either close in that set of buckets there, and I always close that in and put netting across it, because those squirrels just go in there and they just eat up whatever I put in there. And this year I actually closed in both those pallets of buckets and put, I believe it was collard greens or something or other, I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do with that chicken wire. So this is TJ from Fat Boys Garden. We'll see you next time.